The MCU is well over 10 years old, and honestly it's one of the most impressive franchises ever put to film. It somehow manages to continually entertain and please fans. It's hard enough to pull off one story, with many characters like in Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter, but to have an entire universe with dozens of characters all working together and separately is ridiculously impressive. But for every time we sit down in our seats to watch an MCU film, there have always been things that do not make that final cut. Either they were just taken out for time purposes, or they just didn't fit in the overall story. Now the MCU is actually really good about this, and they only cut what needs to be cut. But every once in a while, there's one scene that really should have been in the theatrical release. Now I don't think we're going to be getting extended editions from our favorite films within the MCU, but still, let's take a look at what shouldn't have been removed from those films. And the first thing that I would put back in them. I mainly like the ones that set up character and story, like one of my favorites from Black Panther. It's slow, it's emotional.
My whole life I would watch him wearing the suit. He could pick up a grown man with one hand, run as fast as a zebra. And he told me he was too old to carry the mantle of Panther. He would pass it to me and just be king.
He told me he was too fat to fit the suit.
And it definitely hits me a little bit harder after the passing of Chadwick Boseman, but I feel like it's definitely needed. Not only does it explore T'Challa and his father's relationship, but it also explains how he became Black Panther before becoming king. Now with over 20 films in the MCU, there's a lot to choose from. There are deleted scenes that are very recognizable, like Tony talking to his grown-up daughter at the end of Endgame.
I'm happy we had the time that we did. And that you were there for me. Until you couldn't be.
If you're happy, I'm happy.
I love you.
I love you 3000.
But I'm actually not the biggest fan of the scene. I mean, I get what it's doing. It's like mimicking the Thanos seeing Gamora at a young age, with Tony seeing his daughter all grown up. But it feels like a different person than his daughter, and it doesn't really strike any emotion with me. And somehow, Love You 3000 kind of feels creepy here. So I'm actually glad it didn't make the final cut. But in this scene kind of makes me tear up a bit. I mean, it's everyone just kneeling for Tony. And although I think this scene is powerful, the funeral scene kind of serves the same purpose, so I see why it was cut. The main thing I'm looking at here is not the scene, but rather just one shot, the shot of Doctor Strange. Now his relationship with Tony in Infinity War was very important, and you can see in these final moments, he has that extra little bit of loss. He almost feels responsible for the death of Tony. I think this shot is needed to complete that storyline and that 1% that they kept on referring back to, but also Benedict Cumberbatch just kind of kills this. His acting's great here. Now, one of my biggest complaints about Infinity War is kind of writing Hulk out of the movie, and how Hulk just never wants to come out is just annoying. But mainly, that it doesn't pay off with anything or really go anywhere. The original end in Infinity War actually solves this. We actually had a scene within the Hulkbuster helmet of Bruce talking to the Hulk and pleading for him to come out before he actually turns into Smart Hulk.
Big guy, I know we're having some issues here, but if you're gonna appear at any moment, now would be a hell of a good time.
No! Better only want Hulk for fighting!
So what? You like to fight!
Better hate Hulk!
I don't hate you. You're more of an Avenger than I am. I love you.
No, you don't! Hulk just wanna live!
I wanna live too, man! I wanna live too!
Me too!
So let's live! We'll live and let live!
Live and let live!
Yes!
Yes!
Okay, I got an idea.
There's also a scene of Mark Ruffalo without CGI talking to Black Widow as Smart Hulk 2.
You want to take this one?
Who decided to show up? Hey, big guy.
Hello, Nat.
Chris.
That's okay. We worked it out. In fact, I'd say it's gone from worst case scenario to, well, I don't know if it's best case, but at least it feels very, very manageable.
I hear it too.
Now this would have actually been really interesting to see, but I mainly like it because it gives a conclusion to the Hulk thing that's been happening throughout the story. It gives it purpose, and it could also provide a little bit of a redemption against Thanos. It's like removing that arc within the storyline, and then when he just pops up in Endgame, it really doesn't have that connection. Talking about cut storylines, there's actually a couple little ones that we've hinted at in the MCU, which we never really delve into. First, in Iron Man 2, Tony has his head in the toilet, alluding to his possible alcoholism.
Oh God, you don't want to see that.
Or this one, which I like a lot, which is super simple, which alludes to the past of Black Widow.
She's disabling security protocols and dumping all the secrets onto the internet.
Including Hydras.
And Shields. If you do this, none of your past is going to remain hidden. Not Budapest, not Osaka, not the children's ward. Are you sure you're ready for the world to see you as you really are?
Are you?
I really like the small inclusion, and I also like how it plays into the importance of the decision she's making. There are a lot of little fun scenes like Ant-Man making money, or Donald Glover calling Miles Morales.
Hate this dude, man. Yeah, sorry, Miles. I'm not gonna make it. Yeah, I'm just stuck.
Now, I understand some things like this, like these little hints, aren't really needed as much as I love them. Sometimes there are things that just aren't left explained, like the quantum realm. I mean, for non-readers and non-comic book fans, the quantum realm is kind of a world where there's just mystery, other than the fancy visuals we got here. But there is actually a deleted scene of Hank and Janet navigating around and showing just a touch of what life must have been like for her living in there.
There's so much we didn't know about this place, Henry. Worlds upon worlds, entire civilizations, far more than we ever theorized.
It's okay. Passing through, we stake no claim.
It doesn't spoon feed the audience and doesn't give you so much of it, but it gives you just that little bit of hint that you understand the world a little bit more. Now here's another one that's kind of dumb, but I love it. In the first Thor, we get one of my favorite lines that I almost quote daily.
This drink, I like it.
I know, it's great, right?
Another!
But in Thor the Dark World, how do you show that Thor in all his glory misses the simpleness of Earth? While Volstagg tells a story and is done with a drink, this ensues.
Truly a tale for the ages.
No doubt he'll be telling it that long as well.
Another!
I love the fact that everyone on Asgard throws their drink to the ground, no matter how dumb that is. But it's a nice callback, and you can see that reflection in Thor without it being too heavy-handed. So those are the deleted scenes from the MCU that I would first want to see put back in. Which scenes would you like to see, and which ones do you think are the most important? Let me know if you enjoyed this and I can start doing it for more franchises. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.